Hello gentle viewer and welcome to another Luxuries Outdated. Well, I got a hankering to play as you've probably seen before, I have a lot of tabletop games. And I had this kind of just urge to play them again. So after digging up a lot of C-size batteries and, dusting everything off, I've been having a quick look at them. So I'm going to show you 3 grandstand ones. Actually, I'm going to show you a mysterious machine as well, an extra one. But we're going to have a look at Astro Wars, which is this lovely one here. We're going to look at Scramble, which is this guy here. And we're going to look at Firefox F7, which is this guy in the middle. So we're going to start off with Astro Wars. And I'll just get that ready for you now. Through the wonders of editing, you won't have to sit there and wait while I fumble around with batteries. But yeah, here we go. So Astro Wars. This is the rather battered box for Astro Wars. And Astro Wars is kind of like a veteran of every car boot sale and garage sale and sale of work, I suppose, if you're Irish. So we call our jumble sales. You'll always, for years, there'll always be an Astro Wars prop, usually a broken one, in fairness, propping up a table. But some bumf there about it. Ooh, ultramodern arcade excitement is now yours as you defend your Earth ships against a fierce invasion. Fierce. You must dodge the enemy missiles and fire back at the squadrons of attacking fighters, warships, and enemy command ships. If you survive, you can attempt the exciting docking maneuver and earn extra points. I didn't even know there was one. I didn't even realise. I suppose I've had this bloody years and I've never actually read the box. The docking maneuver. Oh, hang on. Oh, here's something. I don't know if you're picking this up, and God knows I upload these to YouTube in such bad quality. You're probably looking at a lot of pixels. But it says made in Japan. Copyright 1981. Epoch Company. Now that's interesting because Grandstand and Epoch and Tandy in the States, they all seem to swap trade games, and they'd stick a different badge on them and a different name, as you're going to see in a minute, and would just sell them in their own territories. This is the various different modes of colour. Anyway, listen, you didn't come here to look at boxes. You came to look at warranty cards. Yes, there's actually, oh wow, oh wow, these are games that I will probably end up going on eBay. There's something, by the way, folks, just as he says, he drags the conversation even further. When I started collecting these about 5 years ago, you could pick them up for 3 or 4 quid, your average tabletop game. Now I stopped. I kind of wish I hadn't, really, because I was looking up things on eBay, and stuff that I would have paid 3 or 4 quid for is now selling for stupid money. About 5 or 6 times that price. Oh, it's the thing about the mains adapter. Anyway, and there's some instructions. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the lights out, and oh, sorry, there's my exciting retro gaming beverage that I like to drink while I play video games. I'm going to turn the lights out because it'll make this a little bit easier to see. This is it. Hang on. Some little blippy things there. Okay, I'm just going to go switch the lights out, so it'll make it a little better to see. Okay, did I match that up? No, probably not. You may have noticed now it's pitch dark. Now, what you've missed is 10 minutes of me gradually easing and manoeuvring a little tripod around so that you can actually see the screen. Because the Astro Wars display, it's kind of concave, which magnifies it, which is great. Except they weren't really, allowing for someone 30 odd years in the future using a magical entire recording studio in one tiny little handheld thing, a camcorder basically, to record it. So let's just see how much of the screen we can see. There we go, you can just about see the screen. That's good enough for me. So it's kind of a Galaxian style game, basically. Well, yeah, basically shoot the guys up top who look like insects, like little kind of bees, while avoiding the guys that are dropping down. Now bear in mind, this will be, I think, 81, 82. So, I mean, gaming was pretty much, this was arcade games. This is an arcade style game. And say what you like about the VFD games, these are what these tabletop ones are generally called. They're lovely and bright, and the graphics look, you know, great. The gameplay and buying are just going to be very simple. I mean, the majority of the games, except for maybe one or two, which we'll look at, are pretty much, you know, Space Invaders clones, Galaxy Invader, those kind of things. And they're nothing too sophisticated for the most part. Okay, that's first level of... Oh, that guy went back up in the air. I changed colour. I really wish I'd had more of my super retro gaming beverage before I started this. Oh. Yeah, I'm actually playing this through a viewfinder, so it's kind of a little bit trickier than now. Oh, they're firing. They're defending themselves somehow. The joystick is a little bit stiff, but I mean it works grand. It's basically left, right, fire. Some jaunty music to tell you that something's oh wow, what's going on here? Oh, this is the docking maneuver. So the idea being Luna Landa-esque. Oh, you have to try and get... That was close. You have to try and dock for, I don't know, extra points or something, while your bottom end slides all over the shop. Bugger. I think I've 3 lives left. I'm not too sure. One of the problems with these games is that, you know, well, in one way it's nice, yeah, but another way it's awkward. They tend to reuse graphics a lot, so I think those... I thought maybe the 3 green ships at the top were my ships, or at some point were indicating lives. Maybe not. And the other problem being, it's basically using the same graphic for your fire and their fire. It just really depends on the direction it's going. But sometimes it can be hard to see whether it's something you shot at them or whether they've shot at you. But excuse me. Back when I was a nipper, I mean, if your parents, you know, if you weren't lucky enough to get a gaming console off Santa, in the early 80s, you know, like, it wouldn't have been, you know, that common. But this was the next best thing. You know, it was only one game, obviously, but you didn't use up the telly. It didn't use up, you know, power. You were talking about the batteries every so often, and it looked like a little arcade machine. Downside being, of course, it's the same game over and over, pretty much. Yeah, and I think I'm dead there, actually. Yeah, so that is Astro Wars, and like I said, it tends to be a stalwart of most garage sales, car boot sales, whatever. It's worth picking up. There seems to be a lot of boxed ones for some reason. It's one that I came across. I got that for, I think it was a tenner or 15 quid in Birmingham. About 5 years ago. They tend to go for a bit more now than that. But yeah, Astro Wars, pretty good. Okay, we're gonna look at what we look at. We'll look at Scramble next. So I'm gonna jump ahead. We'll put the lights up, and gonna have some tasty retro gaming beverage. And yeah, we'll jump ahead to Scramble. So then, this is Scramble, and this is Grandstand Scramble. Grandstand Scramble. My God, I've obviously had too much retro gaming, drinking, beverage. There's a bloody fine glass right there. Yeah. So basically, sorry, I'm professional. Yeah. Basically, this came out a year or two later. It's based on Konami's Scramble, which is basically a very early scrolling shooter. It's, if you believe, and there's no reason not to, because he's an excellent source of a lot of things, Stuart Campbell's rather excellent timeline of the Gradius / Nemesis games in Retro Gamer a year or two back. He basically lists it as Nemesis Zero. That it was kind of, it's in the timeline of the Nemesis games. I'm not sure how exactly, but I believe him. It sounds plausible. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to dim the lights and we're going to fire this up, and we'll give you a quick look at what's going on. So, in the darkness again. We're going to fire this up now. Now, there's kind of a sort of a kind of little fascia thing over the screen, a little kind of etched on sort of starfield, which when you're looking at it normally isn't too bad, but because we're looking at kind of an angle, it makes it a little bit hard to see. So you might, the graphics look a tiny bit scrambled down the bottom. Scrambled, yes. Oh, God. Humour doesn't start. Anyway, let's just hit start on this. Okay. Now, basically, the way the game works is... I die. Yeah, basically, the way the game works is drop bombs and fire your way through. The oncoming hordes. Now the joypad on this is really sticky, and that's my excuse when I die horribly in about 3 seconds. It's not a bad game. It's trouble I find with it is even it's very hard to see what's going on. The way the game worked was you basically flew along, shot bad guys, avoided the scenery, and also there was fuel bunkers. You had to hit them every so often. You shot them, and it made your increase your fuel. Now, how shooting them makes your fuel gauge go up, I don't know, but it's not that kind of game. So now, as you can see, I'm not doing too well here. For some reason as well, if I scroll forward enough, I jump to the back of the screen, so not sure what's going on with that. Now, I really need to take this apart and ungum it. But yeah, this is basically it. You fly along, there's 2 fire buttons. Did I die there? Yeah, I think I died there. Oh no, I'm not really 100% sure if I died there or not. I think I might have died. Yeah, basically... I think I need to shoot those green things out without dying horribly. Now, unfortunately this button is... I think I did something there. I'm not really 100%... Oh yeah, this is different now. So basically, to fly along here now and shoot that guy. I'll shoot these ground things here. It's kind of an interesting game. It's similar to the arcade Scramble in the sense that you can fire bombs at the ground and shoot. And it's got some scrolling at some point. And that's basically it. It's a good game. Did I die there? I'm not... No, I seem to be alive. Oh, this is a bit like the... What's going... I don't know what's happening. I'm enjoying this, but I have no idea what's going on. It's playing sad music. I'm probably dead. Yeah, it's a Scramble. I need to ungum it and give it a good WD-40, but it's a good little tabletop game. Again, bugger all to do with the original Konami arcade machine, but interesting enough. Now, bonus time. Hang on there a second. I'm going to up the lights and I'll show you something interesting. So, this, as you can see, is Alien Attack. It's not a grandstand game, it's a Tomy game, and I like Tomy. Why am I showing you this? Okay, here's an interesting clue. If you look really closely. Konami Industry, microcomputer game, Alien Attack, dynamic multi-screen, LSI, CPU, FIP, index panel. Yes, some of those words made sense. Oh, and there's a score which says, now here's something. Oil tanker, missile, UFO, more missiles. Tomy again. The reason I'm showing you this, pan back, is that this is Tomy's version of Scramble. Now, this was released as Scramble, and it was also released as Alien Attack. Now I'm guessing, and I could be wildly wrong, that for the likes of the UK territories and that, Grandstand got the rights to Scramble. For the rights, or for the US and Japan maybe, Tomy did. So what they did was they stuck a different name on it and released it in the UK and Ireland as Alien Attack, but yet they're still pretty much acknowledging it because it still says Konami here. So we're going to dim the lights. Actually, yeah, we'll dim the lights now and we'll have a look at this and see what we think. It's a little bonus extra thing. Not technically a Grandstand game, but close enough that we're going to have a quick look. So, as I mentioned there earlier, Scramble basically consisted... Well, I hope I mentioned it. Scramble consisted of flying along a kind of a landscape, avoiding these jaggy rocks, basically, and shooting at fuel tankers, and shooting down bad guys, or shooting missiles. And as we saw, the Grandstand game, well, there was a little bit of that in it, but... There we go. This is, if it wants to focus... There we go. This is a lot closer to the arcade. Now, see that? You've only got one fire button, but those red, that thing down the side is my fuel gauge, if I remember rightly. And those red things are fuel tanks, so shooting them keeps the fuel gauge up. And it's actually really close to the arcade. It's got okay, the landscape obviously is a couple of blocks, but considering compared to the Grandstand one, which again I like, by the way. Oh bugger! How are you supposed to dodge that? It's really, really good. The only thing maybe it suffers from is that it uses the same squares a bit. So, sorry, those bullets there, for example, it can be hard to tell which are yours and which are the enemies. Yeah, see there. But it's very faithful, and again, this is the whole thing about games back then. These were you couldn't afford, you couldn't get hold of a game system because like they were fairly expensive back in those days, and we were talking they'd be 100 quid, 150 quid, which doesn't sound like much, but I mean we're talking in today's money it's like 400 or 500 quid. So quite often you may do with these, and this is actually let's talk more piloting. But yeah, this would not be too bad. I think, by the way, Scramble was either a clone or a release of it as Super Cobra as well, but I could be wrong. But I remember a game very similar to Scramble called Super Cobra. There you go. This is, like I said, a little diversion here, but this is the Tomy version. This is Alien Attack for the UK one, but like I said, it is Scramble to all intents and purposes. And if you asked me to pick which was the better, I'd say this was better than the Grandstand one. But there you go. Okay, we're going to have a look at one last game, Firefox F7. So yeah, brace yourself. So this is Firefox F7. This would have been from 1983. What's the price tag actually? It was a tenner back when I bought it a couple of years ago. They tend to go for a bit more, I've noticed. Yeah, Firefox F7. This will be from 1983, as I said. Now this was released. This kind of thing happened a lot. In the UK, it was released as Grandstand Firefox F7. I don't know what it's to cash in on the Clint Eastwood film Firefox, which had actually a very, really good video disc based arcade machine. To cash in on that, and not the internet browser that wouldn't be out for another 30 odd years. But anyway, it was Grandstand Firefox F7. In Japan, as far as I know, it was the Epoch Galaga. Now I could be wrong. It's nothing to do with the Galaga arcade games. The same way it's nothing to do with the Firefox movie. in the States, I think it was Astro Thunder or Astro Thunder 7 or Astro Thunder X3. I can't remember, but it was Astro Thunder anyway. It was a Tandy game. But again, this sort of thing, I think these companies just traded games, traded the boards for them, the designs for them, and I don't know, but there seems to be an awful lot of that going on. So it's kind of typical design. You got a joystick here, 4-way one. Sorry, because I didn't really give you a good look at the buttons on the last guys. These are this kind of pseudo stereo sound. It's not really. You've got a choice between turning the left speaker on or the right speaker on or both. Why? I don't know. You don't want to do that. Maybe save power or something. Fire button and the power. And yeah. Anyway, basically it's standard. But what I like about this is it reminds me a lot of Gorf. In the sense that it's Gorf the arcade game. It's a lot of kind of little mini games. So we're going to turn it on now and we'll have a quick look. Again, same as before, I'm going to dim the lights. So let's have a quick look at this. Okay, so Firefox. This is from 1983, as I think I mentioned there. And it's a lot more advanced. A lot more, like I said, Gorf, like. Hang on, see if I can find the switches. The downside to do this in the dark is it's very hard to find the switches. Yeah, so anyway, there's the copyright ignoring Thunderbird's music, and there's a trench, and there's a TIE fighter, and oh yeah, not at all copyright in any way copyright infringing. Anyway, it's a different era. This is actually the second time I recorded this. The first one, it just looked so weird. I had to go and move the angles around a bit. So basically, first level sees you flying around a trench, and you have to shoot the TIE fighters that look a bit like another TIE fighters. There's no beating around the bush. They're TIE fighters. Like I said, copyright wasn't, enforceable maybe in 1983. I think the thing down to the left is keeping score of how many of these I hit. I think the thing to the right, and I could be wrong, is kind of like a life force gauge for me. I could be completely wrong. Like I said earlier, the problem with a lot of these games, they reused all the decals, the actual images for different things depending on what you're doing in the game. It's sometimes very hard to see. Yeah, so there you go. But the thing is, that was a very good kind of 3D effect. When you bear in mind, like, this is actually, it's the same technology really as a a Game and Watch. When you think of it, same basic idea about how it displays. So those things are explosions earlier on. They're new asteroids. Same rules apply though. Shoot the TIE fighters. Try not to get hit. And after a certain, I think it's after you take a certain amount of these, you progress to the next level. But again, got hit there. Bearing in mind the, this is the technology involved in this. It's a good varied game. It's different levels in it. If the last level was a Star Wars-esque kind of trench run, this is Empire Strikes Back style asteroid dodging. I have no idea what the scoring is here. The score to the left is still mysteriously 0. The score to the right is going up to 6, no matter how many I hit. I think like I said, to the left is some sort of indicator as to how many I've shot, but I could be completely wrong. Answers on a postcard, folks. Yeah, we're not even going to pretend that, the copyright involved in this. It's a little tiny burst of Star Wars music there. Was there no such thing as a copyright lawyer in the 80s? I mean, Jesus, you try to do that today. I can't even have more than 4 seconds of licensed music on YouTube without getting arrested and sent to Guantanamo Bay or whatever. You could release a game and stick on a bit of Star Wars music. What is it? Venture? Is it Venture? I think. It's great arcade game. At the start of it has the Star Trek music, the Star Trek the motion picture music, the one they use for the Next Generation. When you start playing the game, it's a different era, folks. An era without lawyers. So again, the same problem, you know, well, not a problem, but the same, you know, issue we had before, that I can't find it very hard to tell if that's my fire or their fire. I noticed the two blue and red little handy indicators on the side of the screen to tell me where my fire is converging, in other words, the bit that I can hit them at. Because if you can hit them at any distance, it'd be a bit too easy. Yeah, there we go. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Gorf, that you've got all these different little mini games that are you know, put together. Oh, something's happening here. Now, if I remember rightly, and I could be wildly wrong, I think you have to shoot. Maybe not. I thought you had to shoot into those things and take them out, but I think it's just shoot the bad guys and try not to die horribly. I have a sneaking suspicion this is my last life. But no, it's not. I had another guy. I don't know what's happening. I'm having fun, but I'm seriously confused. Trying not to accidentally knock over my alcoholic retro gaming beverage there. Oh, sod it, it's a pint of Guinness. Come on. Just didn't want to advertise. Now, I think by clearing all those, I've gone to level 1. Yeah, what's that from? Is it called Quarters? You know, it was one of those kind of, definitely some other science fiction kind of thing. It'll come to me later on. It's an inopportune moment. So yeah, this is basically the first level again, but the difficulty's cranked up a bit. And they can fire at you, I think. Or else maybe I'm doing so. Oh yeah, there we go. They can fire. My hand is cramping up. There's only a limit on how many times you can fire, so it doesn't really matter if you're that Hudson Soft 16-shot guy. You can still only get like 2 shots out a second. I have absolutely no idea how many lives I have left, or how many shots I can take. I'm sure if they had the instructions, and I really should go and find a copy. I'm sure Handheld Gamer has them, or Handheld Museum rather. But if this cycles through again, I think I may end it before my arm falls off. No, it's something different this time. You have to shoot the MCP. I mean, blue thing. Hey! The universe is free again from tyranny. Folks, I played that so hard it went blurry. So that's Firefox F7. Otherwise known as Galaga. Or I think it's Galaga X3, I think. Or Astro Thunder. But whatever you call it, it's a good game. Like I said, it'd repeat now. And again, it was that pure gaming, just beat your high score thing. Although I can't actually see a high score on this. I think the high score there at the moment is 1. I think it's the bit of waves I've gone through. If I find the instructions for this, I'll put a brief description of what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with this in the YouTube comments at some point. But, come on, die you bugger. But there you go. that's the handy thing. You can switch the sound off. So yeah, that's been a bit of a LFD gaming, bit of tabletop gaming for you there. I have a couple more games I want to have a look at. I really want to get more batteries though. But that's it. Excuse me. So we've had a look at Astro Wars, Scramble, Alien Attack, otherwise known as Scramble, and Firefox F7. So there you go. I'm off to put a bit of something soothing on my arm to stop it being sore because it really cramped up after all that firing, and drink more retro gaming beverage. So listen, take it easy, folks, and thank you for watching.